Hi, English students. It is Friday, April the 3rd, and I have a very short lesson here for you today. So the first thing I want to mention is just a bit of housekeeping. Aurora College has asked me to relay the information to you that if you need to get into the building, if you need to get onto campus in Yellowknife for any reason, if you've left things in lockers or you need to retrieve something, they can help you to get access to the building early next week. It's by scheduled appointments. So if you need to get back inside to grab something from a locker, please just send me a text or an email. Let me know and I will get them to get in touch with you and they'll make arrangements for that to be scheduled. It will be done with safe physical distancing practices in mind. And so, yeah, if you need to get anything, please let me know. So right now we have two outstanding assignments in this class. We have the first one, which is a lecture I gave on dystopianism. I gave a lecture and then sent you 7 very basic, straightforward comprehension questions. These were not intended to be critical thinking questions. They were as easy as they seemed. So please get that passed into me, and thank you to everyone who has so far. The second assignment that came on Wednesday was talking about the idea of milieu, about how considering the time and place and situation in which an author does their writing is really important when considering a text's themes. And so as we start reading this wonderful book, The Marrow Thieves by Cherie Dimaline on Monday, it's important that we consider not only the time and place and historical context for this book, but also the story of Cherie Dimaline herself and her experiences, her thoughts. So you had to watch a video last class, and then I gave you 2 assignments to go along with. Oh, so first part, you had to do some research on Cherie. You had a chart to complete, although you were welcome to do some changes to the formatting of that chart, just to understand who she is, where she comes from, what's important to her before we start reading the book. That was the first half of the assignment. The second half of the assignment was for you to watch an interview on YouTube that involves Cherie, and you were to listen to the first 9.5 minutes and tell me what in that interview did you think was interesting, important, surprising, confusing, amusing. What stood out to you in something that she said? What did she say, and why did it stand out to you? That's your first paragraph assignment. Very short, 5-6 sentences should do it. The second question on that interview was about her talking about the Marrow Thieves itself. The question is, based on what you heard in that interview, does the Marrow Thieves sound like a book that you're going to enjoy reading? Why or why not, based on what you heard? So that's where we're at right now. Please get those emailed to me as soon as possible, because on Monday, you're going to have a new assignment and we're going to begin reading the book together. So there we go. So today's assignment is very short. And so I'm going to put you on screen sharing here so I can show you what we're up to. Okay, so some of you may have heard of the Walrus magazine. The Walrus magazine is a Canadian publication. It's similar to Maclean's or Time magazine. It talks a lot about Canadian issues, politics, things happening within society. It's a great magazine, brilliant writing inside of it. Also, with the Walrus, they do a speaker series. So they travel all over the country, a lot like TED Talks, in that they invite people who are experts on their field to get on the stage for 7 minutes, always 7 minutes, to give a talk about something that they are knowledgeable on. Sometimes the speaker series is themed, and sometimes it's not. In this case, Cherie Dimaline is doing a Walrus Talk on the idea of survival. And I thought that this was a particularly appropriate topic because The Marrow Thieves is very much a story of survival. It is a survival novel. And so as you're watching this video, there's some things I want you to think about. You don't have to write anything. Just want you to listen and think about the idea of what survival means to you, about what survival means to your family, to your community, to your nation. I think that What's really interesting about this book is, I mean, it takes place under extraordinary measures. It takes place during an apocalypse. It's a dystopian book in that way. And so Shri Demaline talks in this video a little bit about how one of the most important things to surviving during extraordinary times is the stories that you carry within you, the stories that you can tell, the stories that you've heard, and how essential those stories are to survival. She also talks about how when thinking about survival, you should look to the people that you walk alongside, that those people are an essential part of your survival journey. And so look at not only the people you're beside, but how you mourn together, how you celebrate together, and how you share ceremony, invite ceremony into your life. So I find this book, although it is a little bit dark and it's a little bit twisted, dystopian science fiction, at the same time, I find that this book is incredibly hopeful, because even in a world where everything feels a little bit broken, people are still struggling to survive. And the struggle to survive, the desire to keep going, is by its very nature hopeful, isn't it? And so she speaks about how even in the most difficult of times, even when struggling to survive, that people look to the beauty and the joy during that struggle, and about how we can't live without beauty and joy. So she talks a lot about these different things. So all you have to do, friends, is watch. That's it. Just watch. I want you, as you're watching though, to think about the stories in your life, the stories during this difficult time of surviving, of getting through the days, especially when faced with such uncertainty in our civilization right now. About what stories are going to help you to survive this time. I also want you to think about the people who are beside you during this time, and about their place and their role in your life right now. So, and finally, I want us to look for the beauty and joy always. Always be looking for the beauty and joy, even in this difficult place that we find ourselves. So, okay, here's what you have to do. Watch the video, think about it, feel it, consider its parallels with your own life, and then I want you to leave a comment. So, if you look at the screen, scroll down, you can see that it was published by the Walrus. It's only had 146 views. 4 people have liked it. Oh, I'm going to like it. I did. And then I'm going to write a comment. That comment can just be a simple thank you. Thank the Walrus for sharing the story. Thanks Shri Demaline for sharing her story. You can say thank you, merci, masi cho, or in the Ojibwe language, the language of Shri Demaline, and the characters in this book, you can say miigwech or chi-miigwech, and the spelling is in this email. That's it. I'm going to check to make sure that you have watched this video, and I will know because you said thank you. Okay, if there's anything that you want or need from me, friends, please get in touch. If not, I look forward to talking to you again on Monday when we finally start reading The Marrow Thieves. And I hope you have a great weekend and that we get some warm weather so you can go outside and enjoy yourself. All right, take care.